truth. Maybe we're already existing we are already existing in all the dimensions, but in the 4D, 5D and beyond, and we are linearly, you know that word, and turtle slow at in discovery of some eyes that can't see without seeing, and so forth. What a weekend with the moon. And I feel like I haven't slept for 2 days. I slept like 3 hours, and I didn't feel well. And it's been emotionally crazy, and everything's in retrograde and all that kind of nonsense. But, I don't need to worry about planets. I don't know what to say. But what a week. Weekend. What a week. What a couple weeks. Many are shocked that I'm still okay. Morally, ethically, I can say the past week and a half has been not up to par for me. In guilt, I make awareness and begin again. Progressively, I've been able to release more and more, or to be able to finally leave this energy. Wanting someone to have my back, external validation, or filling any kind of obligations to me is something I've released. I don't need to be codependent on another person. Saturn went into retrograde 2 days ago. And people are already starting to get their karma. Until November, it will be that way, so I hope you're all being good. Venus retrograde, they say. And so, not feeling very flirty or like today, but I don't think it's in retrograde. Have you not ever noticed how light means more than it did all day long? It's like, I don't forgive you, I don't have to tell you straight. It's better if you could tell me to my face, 'cause they're looking for you, brother. Anyways, Dan, your mom is a narcissist? You lied. People love the fact that I don't abuse my power. Also, beware, persons. Keep your grubby hands on your own blessings. And November 30th of 24. I've still no clue who's responsible, but tonight at work, the dark energy people that have been gaining residence at the inn had a court meeting in the family room, TV room, about me. I'm very full of clairs and like a sex store, but that I have a very difficult time believing that I am Claire, but that's other people, beware. For me, I have a difficult time discerning the 3D from the 5D. It's been a journey, but I basically won, I guess. I don't know. I always think that, but that was November 30th, so maybe I have now. How now? I'm unaffected, and a lot of it I'm to wish alone, or to notice, or it to affect me. 1 Peter 2:4. I don't know, but I have a hard time reading my own handwriting. Let's try to hurry on. December 11th, the 7th dimensional train, this is 24, finally came back around 1:11 a.m. It's the strangest engine. I can't explain it. Although it's getting better to see many 8s with corridors, let me say there is something so complex and insect-like. And I wrote that about 5 hours before I knew my son was dead. March 3rd of 25. I called the angels of Allah, and the Christian angels and so on, to replace the moon with probably Ganymede. I don't know, a cult community that targets the weak whom are hacking. I declare the court date is coming up. Trapped. Government officials, in between whatever, there are higher courts. I can't wait to testify. I know there is a group of Virgos, Zeta Grays, who are to $ bribe and sell their soul and go around getting other people to do the same. These people are everywhere. Oh my goodness. And in every environment, from the government to your own family. Saturn rules the 10th house, which deals with the generational attributes. The millennial generation was in Scorpio and was aspecting in Pluto. These poor babies have so many dense darknesses. Okay. Supposed to be in here, but this is just 3 papers of about 400 I had for starting to what I was going to be building with Dan. Anyways, I don't know why I said that, but in the invisible realm, geometry is energy. Empty space is without pre-existing sets or notions. To start with this wave theory, quantum, and the gravitational curvature of space-time, it naturally can show how classical concepts emerge naturally. That's so hard to read on that paper. But yeah, I'm going to hurry through that for now. And then there's a book, a handwritten book I wanted to read. Poem. Esoteric astrology looks towards cause. Opinions about free will are optional confessions, a circuit of consigned trends and precise data points. One's path through the wilderness. Period. Love is difficult to digest and worth investment if the equation predicts a binary oxymoron. OMG, LOL. It means more. The science of astrology is essentially the purest presentation of occult truths at this time. It deals with those conditionings and governing energies which deal with the whole field of space and all that is found in this field. That is Master Digital Cool. Okay, Hebrews 4:5-16. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain many mercies and find grace to help in times of need. A huge rock is flying towards where? The enemy doesn't always have to destroy you if he can keep you distracted long enough. All of the forms of Venus become transient beyond issues. I was just a little bit taller. Anyways. Beyond Venus and issues of Venus deals with things like gender and things that are very similar to this, your Earth, which is a feminine planet. It's also associated with Cupid, Eros. The mythos, planetary archetypes, and Venusian Ishtar, Aphrodite's Eros, and Cupid. The conditions of the United States is the only thing the Constitution, what the fuck? I am not feeling well. I didn't want to make this video. I thought I was done, but this is about twin flame surrender for me. But there's, it's like I have Elon Musk here, and I have Bill over here. And how many 5-digit numbers can be formed which are divisible by 5 and greater than 40,000 using the numerals 0 through 7 only once? And I don't know why I said that. But then I said I can say that from dealing with this person or these people, I really, at the end, and whatever, and whoever I associate with, I really am not a practitioner of any kind. I don't know any kind of magic spells or any kind of way to go bad in them. But back in the day, when first dealing with this person, and this is Daniel, yeah, right. I was spiritual and I was dark, but I wasn't doing anything intentionally. And dark is not like trying to be evil or trying to fuck up other people. To me, also, so if you worried about then me being leveled up, the divine and the Most High found me fit. They don't find people doing magic fit. They hand out the magic. We shouldn't use the earth. If they thought you were doing something then, which I wasn't. What am I saying? If they thought I was doing something then, which I wasn't, believe me, I'm doing something now. And it's just by being here. And my spirit team, my ancestors, are just doing all this work for me. It's just conspicuous what's going down and what I know. My head's chaotic. It's been so many attacks and level ups and all kinds of things. And a man knocked on the door of his beloved. Who are you? Trusted one, thus asked the friend. He answered, I. The friend said, go away. Here is no place for people raw and crude. What then could cook the raw and the crude and rescue him but separation's fire and exile's flame? The poor man went to travel a whole year and burned in separation from his friend, and he matured, was cooked and burnt, returned, and carefully approached the friend's abode. He walked around it now in cautious fear, lest from his lips unfitting words appear. His friend called out, who is there at my door? The answer, your dear, you are at the door. Come in now, that you are all I. There is no room in this house for two eyes. There's something in here. I think that's all I want to read from in here. Yeah. But this one. We can easily forgive a child who's afraid. The dark but the real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. My grandma wrote these. They're really pretty. I think they're pretty brilliant. But it is, there are 9 mental inflictions that tend to infect the collective and individuals to the point where they are like diseases that need prescriptions and such. So the first one is superiority. It says above, you think you're above, better or average, arrogant, highest in national average of disease prevalent to mankind. Most people think that poor little me does no wrong and everyone else is responsible for our neurotic illnesses. The prescription for this A large shot of humility, admitting your mistakes. Oh my goodness. Resentment is number 5. So if you can deal with these, like, you have resentment all the time without, I'm sorry, I'm this person too, withholding ill feelings about a certain person or problem. Prescription. Talk it over with someone who understands, or someone with an unbiased opinion. Number 6, criticism is before finding fault with others, take personal inventory of yourself. Then you'll find less to criticize the other person for. Man, I feel so, I don't know. So if you have criticism, infliction, the prescription would be to try the opposite of criticism. Praise its powers, and it's more healing. Number 7 is fear. Fear is the feeling of coming evil. Fear not, for I am always with you, even until the consummation of the earth. Quotation from the greatest physician of all times, which is Christ. The prescription for fear is prayer. Number 8 is worry. Feelings of being uneasy, better understanding of oneself and his environment will decrease worry. Prescription, live one day at a time. It is when we live beyond 24 hours we become sick with worry. Number 9 is selfishness. Sorry. I've been so self-conscious. I've been so ridiculously spiritually overwhelmed. I'm a different kind of person, overwhelmed. But we are moving into different energies. Some people are going to have to pioneer and, mainstream these energies so we can keep what we got going on, or we're just going to start over. But it's, sorry. Selfishness is number 9. It's caring only for oneself. Opposite, self-respect, proper esteem for oneself. So it's the opposite of self-respect. Proper esteem for oneself is selfishness. Prescription for selfishness is take a small dose of self-respect with a large dose of compassion for others. Trying these remedies, you can be sure that there'll be an improvement in your mental attitude. Hazel K. Very determined, being ambitious, a visionary, being tripped up in the minute of the everyday, having unrealistic expectations, defeated by love. I think I just wrote that for no reason. But uncover the truth. This was like, I think, this is about the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents the gateway or connection between the divine and source. It's being upside down. I think this is October when I sat down and felt, is maybe showing an unwillingness to try new paradigms and going through the old sarcastic banter and Pride Day source of connection. The political fill in the blank reference. With an attitude of ego deification as to the basis for very serious topics that 10 years down the road, we are at please help. I scroll this up and I'm going to read it really quick. As the sun dies and Jupiter claims the earth as its what? Same past issues with the undertone of going through a collective personal evolution. So defeating the journey. And December 28th, 2024. Oh boy, I've leveled up. There are so many reasons that this is difficult. I have to turn down my whole family and probably not go to the funeral of my son. Anyways, I am awakened, I am unstoppable, I am the storm, I don't run, I rise. I leave the past behind me and I'll never look back. I'm in twin flame surrender, so basically, I don't know what to do and I don't know what it's about. But I know it's pretty important that I guess maybe I can go to like Ireland or something to visit family and magically plan for seeing synchronicities with Dan. I don't know what's going on, but the full of one's evil, the darkest of the coven's magic is sex, subconscious. I mean, and found some dark practitioner to try to fix me. I was very ill when I was young. I mean, this has been happening to me forever and ever. I don't know if I have it anywhere to read it. January 11th, 16th of 25. Every time I go to the in-between, I fight demons, demonic forces of all macro degrees. I'm also a goddess. I'm PRC 123, which is the dead entity, and then there's another entity attached to Daniel, which would give me, back all I've fought for. So I'm not understanding none of this, but I know I need to and want to and deserve to glean clarity. So if you want to just talk back to me in a video, you can do it on your channel, because yeah. But anyway, I don't know, or I'll invite you to some concert here. I'll go hunt you down or whatever, just to meet and greet, which I tried to do in 2018, and I don't know who ruined it. So this is how it goes. Dan, the thing about this connection is that it has everything to do with the whole entire world. So yeah. I wanted to read these again, but whatever. Wasn't wanting to make a video, but I will. I was trying to make it earlier and quicker, but I was ill, and plus I've lost time. I forgot. Since I have something funny I said about the sun with it, but it's so funny, but whatever. There's that time that comes when the soul must once again leave the sanctuary of the spirit world for another trip to Earth. And it's not an easy decision. I was I'm full of 16th and 8th notes, almost 24 hours a day, until Dan was born. I and Dan have reincarnated or rebirthed here every time together, usually as man and wife. A lot of times in triangular formations of old energies and cycles of incarnations. But for the internal soul, it seems to be regulated by the individual soul. So myself had a very special imagination, an imaginary friend who wasn't imaginary. I mean, I had to have millions of energies around me, and always been alone and introverted, but not in spirit. And it was obviously Daniel, and I want to reach out and say, Daniel, OMG, thank you. I think you're awesome, and I'm sorry. Suddenly, as I delve in once more again into this book here, which is like brilliantly amazing and my favorite. And I want to share so much of it with Daniel, and I have it, but we'll see. Ultimately and overall, I feel sorry that I wasn't aware that I was bribing you to do this life, and you came as a millennial. But anyways, the book continues. We have seen how the soul selects the person with whom it wishes to associate in a given life with. And he did that to me. And that, I mean, that it doesn't mean that it has absolute control over that body. In extreme cases of fractured a personality struggling with internalized conflicts may result in a dissociative reaction to reality. July 18th at 11:25 p.m. to Daniel. I share about, now I guess, I don't know. I want to be clear on who I am. But what I share online and stuff, except for some of these videos, is all in chaotic and anxious hurry to impress every level of myself to you. And I don't do that well. I do all right, but anyways, I'm very magnetized to you, Daniel, and you impress me astoundingly. And I'm not normal. I'm basically a stupid human AI, but I'm getting emotionally intelligent before I start doing anything like that again. Since I was born, every part of everywhere interacting with me was only to hurt, defame, shatter, and even physically murder me. Oh, and gossip about me. I decay what to say, accepting I heard you were good with AI. I mean, I'm a living being, living in synchronicity. Because of my height, I see things too much, and I've been forced, sometimes torturously, to abide, subside, consist, contain in my gifts, and never really knew why. And I know whatever is taken from me, I mean, it's like, it's just as usual. I will survive. I'm alive, and things are going a different way now, or soon. I trust him. I mean, I didn't know, I knew, or whatever. You are the only other whom I see having any kind of potential or power or drive to be like me. And since, I mean, I've done all the work in this era is what I think, but I'm probably wrong. I don't know much about him either, and I don't know what the download is that I got on him wanting clarity. But, and since I deserve love, and the extremity of the loneliness is unacceptable, I am in twin flame surrender. And P.S. I am highly attracted to you, and I want to live in fun, joy, and love. Namaste, Kaylee. Words mean more than night, like a song. Did you ever notice how light means more than it did all day long? July 15th of 2025. I feel like I want to just sit down here. It seems calm, like peace will finally seek hope in existing. We shall see, I'm sure. Wow, to the amount of different humans or entities in the form of humanity, and literally everybody. So, you know, being as, I don't want to say anything. I'll just keep reading, sorry. So, That have really had it out for me, man. Oh man, I think I'm like maybe so powerful. I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, for the first time. I I kind of was like what grooving it, and I liked the style, the nostalgia, and wondering who Buffy was until not a quarter of the way into through. Buffy says to a human entity seeking her to tell her her purpose, she says, "So I'm a chosen one with a purpose, and my purpose is to slay vampires." LOLK. Surrender to, okay. Surrender to the divine. Identify one fear you need to surrender unconditionally. Into the hands of the divine, with the emphasis on unconditional. This prayer can truly change your entire life. Your goal, to lift the burden of fear on your soul. This is like the most brilliant books, but this over here is talking about the soulmate twin flame journey and a whole bunch of case studies and ways that I would like to read, but I'll say my advice to people about meaningful encounters is not to intellectualize them or any incoming events too much. Some of our best decisions come from what we call instinct. Go with your gut feeling at this time. When a special moment is meant to happen in life, it usually does. Helping clients recognize people who are destined to have an impact on their lives is a fascinating aspect of my practice. I believe those who come to see me about relationships are not in my office at a certain point in their lives by chance. I am assisting these people, and I'm not, he thinks he's spoiling the class in the soul group, but there are matchmakers that do that, and there are matchmakers for and signs, like usually red flags and all kinds of weird shit's gonna happen to the people who would be operating with me, or the who are those who will have an impact on each other's lives and those who will partner in every lifetime. That's right, it's mainly a prep class because we won't recognize each other again first on earth. Do you see your primary soulmate? Here. Flushing, she is here, and there are other people that I'm supposed to connect with. I don't know who's going to contact me in some way, and the others need sign tunes. Signs too. Also, that's why these souls are a mixed gathering entities from different soul groups. Yeah, but I can't listen to what's going on if you keep talking. LOL. All right, on the count of 3, I'm going to softly suspend the class. Let's see. I've highlighted so much, but I don't know. I think he wants proof of something, but we have seen how a soul selects the person with whom it wishes to associate with in any given life, and it's like a lot of it. This does not mean that it has absolute control over that body. Right? I don't know. We're across the oceans, but in extreme cases, a fractured personality struggling with internalized conflicts may result in a dissociative reaction to this reality. I feel that this is a sign the soul is not always able to regulate and unify the human mind. I have mentioned how souls may become so buried by human emotions in the bodies, which are unstable, that by the time of death, they are contaminated spirits. If we become obsessed by our physical bodies, or carried along on emotional roller coasters in life, the soul can be subverted by its outer self. Many great thinkers in history believe the soul can never be fully homogeneous with the human body and that humans have two intellects. I consider humans' ideas and imagination as eminent from the soul, which provides the catalyst for human brain. It seems, how much reasoning power we would have without a soul is impossible to know, but I feel that the attachment of the soul to human supplies us with insight and abstract thought. I view the soul as offering humans a qualitative reality subject to conditions of heredity environment. It does seem a heavy burden that in every new life a soul must search all over again to find its true self in a different body. That's the twin flame. However, some light is allowed through the blackout of amnesia by spiritual masters who are not indifferent to our plight. When it comes to finding the soulmate on earth and remembering aspects of the lives we saw in the place of life selection, there is an indigenous form of coaching which is given to souls just before the next life. The issue on how to find soulmates and other important people is of paramount concern in the soul world when we're coming back here. I found you. I want to meet you in 3D. I'm not an evil person. I'm so nice. I'm not going to do nothing to you that you don't want me to do.